Alright, hello everyone and welcome to our Thursday night D&D session. Back again, where we're sort of in a homebrew campaign setting, all that stuff, but using D&D for reference material. Would anyone like to do a brief recap of last week's session?
Oh boy, what happened?
You guys
I
met
can't
at
remember.
Durgan!
Right.
Solved some riddles.
We solved some riddles. We met a Durgan. Anand had plot stuff.
We
And
got
then-
blown up.
Yeah, we died like a bunch. It was a very long day.
And there was a little bit, just a tiny bit of corpse dragging involved. But no big.
Slizzik did a good naked run
Yeah,
though.
Slizzik
That
was a beast.
Yeah, that was a good day.
Slizzik had a good day. Everyone else kind of had a bad day. Anand got a cool.
You were supposed to stand on the plate to keep it from stirring.
In his
That's not
defense, there were
heroic.
hundreds of plates. Like, every tile was a plate. And I didn't say it to Tara because she felt acrobatics, but even the walls and the ceiling were lined with them, too. So, like, you were getting blown up.
Nice,
No matter
Nathan.
what. You just had to hopefully save out of it, or just tank it like a champ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just borrow your NPC's massive healing abilities to die and then come
Oh
back.
yeah. Well, he's the introduction, like he's like your safety net for the first city, so everyone gets used to the game, and play styles of their players and combat and whatnot. But he will not be joining you in Rydal, obviously, for story reasons as well as mechanically, because you can't have a Deus Ex Machina for forever. But yeah, so essentially what the party did was they were undergoing a certain number of trials in order to see, visit / gain guidance from / awaken this ancient silver dragon, and involved a number of things, including riddles, navigating a maze filled with deadly traps, and culminated with a combat between two shield guardians, I believe. And after passing all those trials, they met a sort of comatose dragon, who awoke to specific words spoken in Draconic as well as their touch, and he began the long process of waking from his hibernation. He did impart some knowledge onto the party, as well as a boon of magic items, ones that are cold flavored themed, as appropriate for a silver dragon, before they were whisked away through his magic, to the top, to the crown of the world, which is a sort of like the Mount Everest of this world. There is a small shrine to Solara, the sun deity of this world, and whose and a follower whose followers include Onid. And she prayed there and received a vision and met her patron briefly, who explained some things to her, revealed some secrets, and granted her a special staff called Solace, and it does some pretty sweet things. But we'll see what exactly that does soon, hopefully. Or not hopefully, depending on how you look at it. I don't but anyway, you guys were once again moved back to Stormhaven after that, and you began the longest of rests in order to sort of recuperate your spell slots and your health and your hit die. But in the morning, you are once again summoned before now Queen Anastasia Hess and her brother Alaric Stormhaven. Did I miss anything?
That's it.
I don't believe so. Oh God, I sound
Man,
like
your
death.
voice is... You're right there, bud.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm just pulling up some handouts to make sure I pass on the vital information to you. But so, once again, you are treated to, you are awoken by your respective maid / butler, very politely, very softly. But you are roused and brought to a dining table where there is a very light breakfast laid out for you, a traveler's breakfast that some of you who are more familiar with such things might recognize it as benefits one who is about to hit the road, as it were. But that being said, there are a few beverages arrayed out with very low alcoholic content, very low, as in almost non-existent. But just go a little pep in your step for those that need it in the morning. There are a couple of players specifically, but
Need.
But anyway, so is there anything you like to discuss during your breakfast, or I can just montage you right next to your meeting?
That's my best effort of drawing Slizik.
All right, so you guys scarf it down, wolf it down, dragon it down. Is there something going on in Discord I should know about?
He has Bender's feet.
Very
The Photoshop skills of Walker and becoming
Oh,
evident.
it's paint, please.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That is-
Sorry, I gave him
that
too
is
much credit with
just
Photoshop. I gave him too
Yeah,
much
what am I,
credit.
rich?
But yeah, so some of you are looking rather regal now with your magic items, as well as combined with your mithril. Slizik has a mithril maul, as well as a armor that gives off this sort of like frosty aura. That sort of like frost falls from wherever he walks and trails behind him.
Yes.
I'm giving my nice sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. And I'm like, oh, looks like the gauntlet's hungry. Eh? And put it in my
Oh
mouth.
no.
Oh, it's a good time for everyone.
Yeah, so and some of you have all of you have mithril gear, whether a weapon or armor, as well as these magic items. But you are brought to a small, but familiar room where you often meet, or have often met in the past with Anastasia. But you have a feeling this might be for the last time, or very close to the last time. But you are shown inside, and she is sitting there, quietly discussing things with Alaric, and they stop when they see you and look up and greet you. And Schienberger says, welcome once again, friends, heroes. It seems like we're always turning to you in our time of need. Alaric was telling me how you helped revive Nurnavir, and his guidance and very presence will be important in the fight ahead. And I thank you for your service.
Yeah, we're pretty much the best.
Oh, it's no trouble.
With that being said, sorry, this is DM failing to transition appropriately. She wouldn't, because she is very good at speaking, and not me. But but that being said, you are still emissaries of Stormhaven, and you promise to travel the land in order to secure allies for us in our upcoming fight against the Narathian forces. I believe Alaric discussed with you the viability of Rydal as the first city on your list, as it were. Is there any objections to such a thing?
Oh, seems like a wise target.
Seems to be our best bet. Moment.
Any on it? Aja, anything you'd like to add?
Alaric's wisdom has not failed us yet.
And Aja is suffering from a hangover. in character and out. So
Just in character.
I don't care if you have a
This,
migraine, which is
Slizik here is really the boatman he claims to be.
well, yes, I brought it up because we do have we do engage in routine trade with Rydal, more specifically a certain leader there. Uh, the dwarves do. They not mithril, of course, but steelworks, armor, arms, tools, and the like. They take ships down. They take ships down the Silver Strand to Rydal, and they're scheduled to leave this morning. And if you do decide to travel with them, it would cut your time in half. I do know that we're providing you with a cart, but there's plenty of room on the ship for the cart and horse, as well as people to take care of it for you. What's up to you? If you prefer the scenic route, that is also available to you as well.
Wait, so we'd be going by land?
We can
I think
either go
either
by land or by sea. We have options.
Seems the well the route by sea, river, seems to be the faster one.
Aye.
It does seem that time is something of the essence at the moment.
Is there lots of drinking on ship, Slizik? I hear there's lots of drinking on ship.
Oh my god, yes.
Well, I don't mean to. I forgot the word again. Man, today's not my day. Stereotype. I don't mean to stereotype, but sailors are generally known for enjoying a drink or two, and as well as dwarves. So they are dwarven sailors. So I'll leave you to make those connections as you see fit.
Oh my god, we're never gonna make it.
I have heard of
Waiting
Navy strength
for-
rum, but I've never heard of dwarven Navy strength.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it is near nitroglycerin in its instability.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it.
Well, they can use it if they are attacked by pirates. They can use it as a sort of a thrown weapon. There are ways to light it on fire, I'm told.
Borden's cocktail. I know that.
Yes.
So we got
And it's very effective in
explosions
ship
and
combat.
lots of drinking.
I'm sorry, Aja. I missed it.
Explosions and lots of drinking. What are we waiting for?
I agree. It'll be nice to get back out there.
She says, well, once again, thank you. I know you guys. Thank you for your help, and we wish you well on your future endeavors. May the aspects watch over you. I know you don't really have a group name, but based on
The Sliziks.
what has happened in the temple, I have taken to calling you collectively the Blessed.
That'll have to do.
It
Dragon
seems
Joe.
appropriate enough.
It's definitely a little bit pretentious, that's for sure.
But,
Well, we are all blessed by the aspects in one way or other. You appear just to be more so.
With my sweet muscles, yep.
until something better comes along. If anything strikes our fancy, you bring it up. Till then, fine.
Aye.
I mean,
agree.
you are shown out by Aleve, and she once again thanks you all. Anastasia. Aleve doesn't say anything. Alaric is going to follow you, or rather show you to where the docks are, and give you a little more story, as it were, out of character. But so he's bringing you to the docks, and you guys, it's early morning, mid-morning, rather. It's around 9-ish. The shops begin to open up. People are lining the streets, but sort of wary of this. Alaric is taking back roads because you guys are a little bit of celebrities now in Stormhaven. News of your exploits has definitely traveled around the city, and you are quite famous. Especially since some of you are so recognizable from a distance. So you're sort of sticking the back streets as you're headed towards the dock. We're heading down, as it were, in elevation. And you sort of begin to hear the familiar sound, Slizik, of a dock or an arbor, as it were. Harbor, sorry. Or place where ships set anchor and there's a transfer of crew and cargo. But along the way, Alaric is just going over the plan with you, as it were. So he says, there's a saying in Rydal, there's a saying that if it exists in Rydal, you can buy it or find it there. And I'm hoping that you can find more leads on these weapons that Norath is using there. I will contact you, or try to contact you as often as possible. For now, try to stick to a schedule of sending you once in the morning every day, and sort of getting an update from you and from me, trading information, that sort of thing. Are you familiar with Rydal's state of being, politics, as it were?
I hear it's shady as shit.
Aye.
Well, yes. It is a lawless place. But there are certain factions that have risen to the top. They style and name themselves after, is it suites or suits in a card deck?
Suits.
Suits in a card deck. There's the King of Clubs, King of Spades, King of Aces, and Queen of Hearts. Stormhaven maintains a friendly relationship with the Queen of Hearts. She is the person we usually sell, the dwarves usually sell their goods to. The other ones are a bit too... Well, they're all eccentric in their own way, or engage in unsavory behaviors, but she is less than the others. So once you're there, try to seek her out. It won't be difficult to find her people. It might be another matter meeting with her directly.
Be sure to do that. Is there anywhere we ought to go in seeking them out?
The Red Light District.
Yes.
Queen of Hearts. Makes sense.
He says, he starts the sentence but doesn't finish it. He says, and while you're there, you might find, but then he thinks better of it and shakes his head.
A good time.
I mean, let's open up. That's up for interpretation. But you guys are now approaching this rather large ship with a sort of wide sort of poop deck. I'm not an expert on ships. I did not buy Ghost of Saltmarsh. Ghost of Saltmarsh, but it sort of has this large deck on it, sort
Nice.
of conducive for loading and storing cargo. It's a very wide, long ship. Next to it in the dock are two smaller ships that appear sort of rigged for combat, as it were. Cannon is not a thing. yet, but they're very large, sort of crossbows on swivels.
So Aja's making crude gestures while he's describing this huge deck.
Yeah, of course.
Oh no, Alaric's not describing it. I, as the DM, am describing it. This is what you guys see.
Ah,
Oh,
Yeah.
So there.
But yeah, so you guys see it. The dwarves are in the process of loading their goods using a variety of methods, whether by hand, if it's small enough, light enough. There's also a sort of pulley system there. Engaging in ramps are also used, pack animals, that sort of thing. There's just these massive crates that are being loaded into this ship. So the dwarves wave to you all as you approach. Some of them stop their work and come up to greet you. And one in particular begins speaking in Dwarvish, but switches over after he gets a couple words. He says, "Greetings, friends. I was told by the Queen that you'll be in our charge on the way to Rydal. Worry not. We have taken this trip many times. We are expert sailors all, and we are under protection of 2 destroyers. So be at ease if this is your first time on a vessel of this nature. We will endeavor to make it as comfortable as possible.
it sounds good.
But we should make good time as we are headed downriver. We should reach it in 5 days' time. We should reach the city of Rydal in 5 days' time."
All right. Is there anything else I could? Is there anything I could help with aboard the ship?
Oh no, Master Salazan, I am been informed by the Queen that you are adept at sailing, but you are guests of honor, and we can't have the heroes of Stormhaven engaging in such menial labor while they are
I
guests of
think
honor.
heroes of Storm can do whatever they want.
If I'm the guest of honor, you should do what I'd like, which would be to help out.
If you insist, Sir Salazan.
I'll just find a job that 3 dudes are doing, and I'll try and do it myself, like lifting crates or something.
Yeah, so you can do like, just give me a strength athletics,
Yes!
or a sea vehicles proficiency check if you have it.
Oh, that's a...
Either one.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the
You need to
athletics.
describe to me what you're doing though. If you're just trying to lift crates and help load, that would be easily accomplished. You have the strength of 4 dwarves, and they are amazed at your at both your size and your physical prowess.
Yeah, I push these little people away, and I
Yes.
just start stacking some boxes real good.
But yes, they do tell you at where to put them. But once you know the location of where they're going, you're pretty much allowed free reign once they witness your strength.
Huzzah!
You guys
Yeah,
can
I'll just
clearly
help out.
on the deck. You can clearly see just sort of under an awning your cart that or rather the cart that matches the description that was given to you. You don't see the horse that's attached to, but it's probably below deck. But it is rather magnificent. Certainly an upgrade from any of the carts that you have previously had experience with. But it bears Stormhaven livery. There is some mithril present, but it's very subtle. It's not as ostentatious as you would find in the city or on display as much as it would be in the city itself. But sort of the very presence of it alone indicates that this carriage cart what have you, and its inhabitants are high up in Stormhaven society.
All right. Did we manage to take a rest before we came on here? Or?
Yes, you should have taken a long rest.
Excellent.
Should, yeah, max health, all your spell stuff back, half your hit die back. Good to go.
Sweet.
But there is so once again, a lyric will say farewell to you all with a firm handshake to all of you, and say it was an honor to get to know you and to fight with you all. May the aspects guide you in your journey.
Ah, you as well.
You do like a bro hug with him, Slizik.
Yeah.
I dare say that we may not have made it out there without you. Yeah, I pray that you keep this place safe. Well, as safe as you kept us.
On my life.
Very good. Expect anything less. Man such as yourself. Good travels.
Anand actually gives him a hug.
Well, he is a little taken aback by that, but after a split second of indecision, he does return it. He says, he says, once again, I'm failing on my words tonight. I know, he says, hold yourself accordingly, daughter of Stormhaven.
And she just smiles and she says, "Of course, my lord."
Aja will kind of slap him playfully on the shoulder and say, "Loosen up from time to time, big chief," and then she'll salute him half-assed.
He doesn't really know how to respond to that, but he says, I will endeavor to do so as much as possible in these trying times.
She'll give him the thumbs up.
And so you guys, as you're saying your sort of goodbyes, the dwarves have finished loading and are making to push off. And so you board the vessel and set sail for Rydal. I'll let you guys see Alaric waving at you as you guys sail off into the distance. And you begin to leave the harbor proper and begin to navigate the cold waters of the Silver Strand south to Rydal. Now, this is a DM speak. 5 days is a long time for travel time. If there's any downtime activities you guys want to engage in, any RPing, we can do that.
Yeah. I want to fish.
All right. What would fish would definitely be a dexterity check.
All right. Actually, I'm not too bad.
You can do sleight of hand as well. Yeah. So, your method of choice is it a rod? Is it a net?
A spear, baby.
A spear. Okay.
I'm jumping in.
Oh, you're jumping in. Okay, yeah. Dex would still work on this. So luckily, you're
fish.
sort of you can hold your breath for a really long time, thanks to Narisi
being super awesome,
and
right,
and your connection to her with your class features. But I'm gonna be a pirate or a sailor in general as well helps.
Yeah.
So they do tie a rope to you. Because not because they're afraid of you drowning, but because they don't want you to be left behind. Because they're like hauling ass down this this river essentially.
Man, I'm gonna get accidentally like keel hauled or some shit. But
so they they would do it in such a fashion that you can easily undo the knot if you need to, but it's there to sort of like
Excellent.
tug you along, to like remind you that, oh hey, the ship that you're attached to is moving, so don't stray too far.
All right, and I probably cheat a little bit and use my like electric taser thing to zap some fish at some
Oh
point.
yeah. So you definitely you definitely are very adept with the spear that the dwarves provide you after you shook your head at the fishing pole, at the nets. You were
I'm
like,
going in.
spear. And they looked at you quizzically, but you seem to you seem rather intent and sure of yourself, so they did let you borrow a spear. Um, and you have caught in just your first sort of dive in. You have in the first maybe 5-10 minutes you've caught 4 fish. Not massive sized fish due to these cold waters that you're still in, but decent size. Each one, 2 of them could probably suffice for a meal.
Excellent. I'll add 2 fish to my inventory.
We have 4 fish, but there are 2.
Oh, 4.
There are 2 meals of fish.
Yeah, I'll probably keep doing that for a bit.
So you the dwarves seem content to allow you to pretty much do whatever you want on the ship as long as you're not directly interfering with the sort of sailing duties of the dwarves present. You do notice that they operate on shifts where some will be working, others will be relaxing, reading a book, drinking, eating, playing games of chance. Dice in particular seems popular. Below
I'm getting
decks.
in on dice.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You kind of cut out there.
I am getting in on that dice game.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
join in at some point.
I made a note for myself, but I forgot to make a dice game for this.
Wow.
I'm sure there's some, like, you know.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to play blackjack with dice then.
Fuck yeah.
Except
I
the
found
20.
one.
You're trying to get the closest to 20 without going over.
What about, okay.
You're rolling d20s until you get as close as 20 without going over, essentially. Actually, it'd be d6s, I think.
Okay. 2d6, you say?
Okay, a betting game. I'm reading through this, what you put down.
So basically, you say ahead of time whether you want, like,
Yeah.
2, 3, 5.
Okay, yeah, that can work. So what would you be your 3 numbers?
I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for, 2, 3, 4.
All right in the middle.
And I'm going to bet 100 gold.
Oh, so the dwarves here don't have that much money.
Okay, that's fair. That's like, what do we dealing
Just
with?
flexing on them.
You're high rollers. They're like, they're like, that's like a week's worth of pay. They're not willing to bet that much.
Oh, fair enough. What? 25 then.
They suggest starting with a modest bet. If you're going to go high, a high bet is 5 gold.
Oh, sure. 5. 5 gold, and tell you what.
You guys have too much money, so it's warped your perspective of what is normal. Because the crowd has been throwing coin at you guys, and you haven't realized how much this stuff's actually worth.
Tell you what. If I get 1, 5 gold, and you tell me a little bit of something about the city. 2, and you tell me a little bit something hard to find. 3, tell me something that maybe only you know. And I can offer up a bottle of some fine rum. Whoever bests me. If I lose, that is.
All right. They seem willing to take that bet.
Right. So 3d6. I'm looking for a 2, 3, and 4. Lego. Oh, it's 2
So
and
you got
3.
you got 2 of them. So
Ooh.
your bet was you get double, but they also tell you something
Yeah,
secret.
they tell me something that's hard to know about Rydal.
Hell yeah.
They say there's been tension recently between the kings and queens of Rydal. I don't know exactly what's going on because we only visit the city, but last time we were there, everyone seemed on edge.
So you mostly deal with the Queen of Hearts, do you?
Yes, or not her directly, of course. Only the most important, well-connected, rich individuals are offered an audience with any of the kings or queen directly. Rather, you deal with intermediaries, spokespeople, middlemen, enforcers, trusted individuals, that sort of.
I'd guess diamonds would be commerce, that nature.
Diamonds runs the, I believe, let me make sure. Now, where did I put this? Here we go. Yeah, well, yes, he is the richest one, but he normally deals with gambling. The casinos.
Good to know. Good.
Sort of oversees the wealthier districts in the city.
Spades and clubs.
Spades, you don't want to deal with him. He's well, I'll say diamonds and hearts are the most congenial of the lot. Spades and clubs are, well, you don't want to get on their bad side. Spades, if you're feeling down in your lot in life, he has products that can help.
Okay.
Some of these products might affect you in ways you did not expect. Many of them are also highly addictive.
I'd be right in guessing that clubs deals in violence.
Well, yes, weaponry, but more specifically, rare and magical items. He runs the warehouse district and various auction houses. If you need to buy something, anything really, he can help you out.
Good to know, my good man. Good games.
I think you didn't ask him about hearts, but I think you have deduced what she does.
Yeah, it's not hard to understand.
Just making sure.
Did we lose somebody? I thought I heard some.
I thought I had Discord let me know notification when someone enters or leaves, but I guess
Tara was here but left.
I guess it didn't.
I didn't hear anything.
I did.
Well, I mean, I heard like the of the leaving, but I didn't hear anything.
Oh yeah, she didn't say
Or
anything.
might have been that.
No, she was in here a second ago. She left.
Over to the red one.
Let's see
Not
if
disturb.
well, I'll keep more of an eye on Discord. I usually don't on DM, but I'll check it from time to time. Is there anything else any of you guys would like to do?
Not for me.
You have you have demonstrated yourself to be a capable sailor through these 5 days. The dwarves have come to rely on you, ask you for things. They can always count on. Well, you would probably have a mode of address you would like to be called by them. They have defaulted to, due to your status as Stormhaven emissaries. A Sir Slizik is generally how they greet you or address you. But is there a different way now that you're actually on a ship?
Yeah, call me Snake Eyes. What's
Okay, if you're serious, I'll call you that.
Sure.
But you have
Snake
you
Eyes.
have shown yourself to be a true sailor. They can always count on you for to help them in their sailor duties or to provide them with some great fish that they do pay you handsomely for. Sort of fresh food does sort of help with the journey. After about the third or fourth day of dried preserved stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I do my thing.
But you have gained some reputation with these dwarves, and they regard you fondly. Anyone else? Aja, do you sequester yourself away in the kitchen / dining area, as it were?
That'll be a good place for now, and then I'm gonna be right back.
All right. They seem surprised and nicely surprised by your constitution, your ability to hold your alcohol, and so you often engage in long nights of drinking with the dwarves that are currently off duty. Various drinking games are had. Sea shanties are sung, mostly in Dwarvish, just due to the nature of the people with you and their drunken state. Sort of, they revert back to their home tongue or their native tongue. But you guys,
What do you do with a drunken tiefling?
but you guys sort of sing along if you know Dwarvish, or you follow along with them. You say the words they say, but they don't have any meaning to you.
Yeah.
But they seem enthusiastic about it, so in the spirit of things, you follow along.
I'll throw a comprehend up for that.
All right, now I have to make sea shanties, but
roll your chariot along.
But just think of a Black Flag, and the ones in there, but Dwarvish, and you're good. Alistair is chronicling your journey so far, coming to grips with the revelations that have been revealed concerning you all, concerning this dragon, concerning Stormhaven, concerning Rydal, the Narathians, your connection to the divine, his brief view of a possible past version of himself. All things to write down, to ruminate upon.
It's all very much as if L. Ron Hubbard wrote them.
Oh, Lord.
But you're not trying to start your own religion, though.
You don't know that?
Well, yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Maybe.
And that's when I was first contacted by the members of the Blackfoot clan and made a blood brother. Very much that kind of deal.
Yeah, Almond is reading her book that she got out of the fun necromancy cellar, and also spending a lot of time processing because, boy, she had it.
Yeah, you got some heavy stuff dumped on you. Is there anything? Remind me the name of the book, and if there's anything in particular you're trying to find, and you'll need to roll an investigation check.
It is the appearance, prevalence of unnatural magic of avarice.
Okay.
And she's looking for divine stuff, necromantic stuff, and war magic.
All right, give me an investigation. All right. So, is there anything in particular in those three subjects, or just in general what you're trying to deduce?
She's trying to figure out what bold necromancy may have had like previously, and what, because it's all about unnatural magic. So like what like spells of war, things like that, like things that are now at this point unusual.
Okay, so necromancy in particular has been a very taboo school of magic due to the nature of its creation, founding, first use, what have you. It was first used by the Betrayer in order to fuel her sort of horde army. They were sort of her initial foray into creating life/unlife, as it were, before she delved into higher creatures like dark elves, dragons, fiends, that sort of thing. But even due to its sort of evil roots, sorry, I'm just having a horrible day, I guess, for words. Creations of Arya, the so-called good races, have found, even despite its origins, have found good uses for it, namely being resurrection spells, preserving life in that state, if not reviving it completely, preserving that state between life and death, that sort of thing. Is there anything else you're looking for, or did you want more information about necromantic magic?
Unless there's any specific spells in there, no. She's mostly looking for information on like things that stand out as being strange, like especially strange, not just like, ooh, necromancy bad, but like, oh, they were doing a very weird thing here in a way that we didn't know about before.
Well, it does state that during the war, a lot of new and novel ways to use magic were discovered and implemented, experimented with, but it took a while before the followers of Magista sort of outlined a standard of magic use that is still in use today. Before they did, it was sort of wild and chaotic, and every arcane magic user has sort of own way of dealing with things, interacting with the weave, if they had students, they taught their students or followers that as well. So there was very segmented. There wasn't really a standard of magic use, as it were.
That particular bit of information she will take to Alistair, because that seems interesting and relevant, that people used to make up their own magic.
Yeah, and you can do that. Just really quick. Yeah, Aja, you have. You probably missed it, but they were surprised by your ability to hold your drink, and sort of took to you immediately after they discovered your constitution. You engaged in a number of drinking games and drunken singing, mostly in Dwarvish. But yes, I'm assuming Slizik has joined you, or usually joins you. Just due to
Lyric was never impressed. Never, not once.
I imagine her drunkenly introducing me to her dwarven friends that I've known
you've
very
already
well
met.
for like the last 4 days. You gotta meet this guy. It's like, yeah, I know.
They're very polite, and they do indulge you,
He
Aja.
got so many fireballs to the chest and came out just fine.
That is true. That is true.
And you can regale them with tales of your bravery, or athletic ability, and they seem amazed. Like your story about Nurnavir in particular seems to impress these dwarves. Just the trials you undertook.
Oh, and know enough about Nurnavir. Let's tell him about the vase.
So once upon a time.
Somewhere Anand's ears over.
That gets a few raucous laughs from the dwarves. But on it, if you'd like to talk to Alistair about what you have uncovered, you can.
And so I took nearly all of their gold they had offered, but they were happy to give it for any amount of gold and information they can give to one such as myself was but a mere drop in the bucket to the greatness that they were sowing into. An investment.
Yes. Alistair, not to interrupt your fantastic tale, but I found something interesting that you may want to see.
Okay, sure. What's that?
And she'll show him the book specifically. She'll like outline the block of text, and she says, "Did you know that people used to invent their own spellwork?"
Do I know anything about that?
Make a history check.
Does he know that?
Yes.
No, you've never heard of this.
Well, this is new to me.
Apparently, before Nagisa and her followers created a standardized form of spellwork, people interacted independently with the weave, and they crafted their own spell.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem unfamiliar, though, to you, Alistair.
How do you mean? The concept of crafting spells, or
Yes, it's So you're not sure how you're able to alter spells the way you do, but while you haven't heard of people other than you sort of bending the rules of magic, or as Honest states, even making up their own, it doesn't seem that far-fetched to you based on what you can do.
it seems possible. I mean, if you follow the formulae the right way, and you're not changing the variables, unexpected circumstances, there's ways to make it work. Seems as though it'd be a bit dangerous. I'm not entirely sure that this type of thing should be bandied about so much.
I
Consider.
I certainly wasn't intending to bandy it about, but in our current situation, perhaps this is something we ought to investigate further.
I'll look into it. I might have to do a little bit of research and playing around with some of these concepts. I'll see what I can come up with. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Of course, I'm not sure what use it will be to me, but perhaps it's worth investigating.
I should think so. Especially, apparently, and of course, in my past, I made some sort of deal with some sort of entity or some such. I suspect that to be the reason behind my current situation in terms of memory and all that. Could be that this would also attract some unwanted attention. But I don't plan on acting on anything, so I'll just merely attempt to draft something to see what's theoretically possible.
You just
We do seem to certainly already have our share of unwanted attention, but not all bargains made are made for the worse, as it were.
So worth considering.
You guys do know, just based on your time in Odessa, that most of the magic schools there, the teaching there, are done by a bunch of square nerds. And so this would sort of be, if they accepted it, which is a very, very low, minuscule possibility, would be revolutionary, but most likely would be branded as a heretic. And kicked out of the city, forbidden from using magic again, executed, that sort of thing, depending on how severe they view the infraction.
I would like to spend whatever left of the trip that we have is kind of like in my spare time just studying and like theorizing, like if I can mess around with the different kind of like magical formulae to see like what would be possible to create if something could be done.
Okay, so the way that you interact with magic is that you feel in formula, and so as one, similar like how one would teach you math, like they teach you addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and it builds on that, and you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I'm learning more. I can combine these numbers or magics in this way to get this effect, that sort of thing. She, you think, was hinting at using an entirely alien like type of math to you. Like, essentially, you would have to forget everything you know about magic.
I'd have to invent calculus.
Yeah, essentially, from nothing though, with no background in math. Like, it's entirely new type of math that's unfamiliar to you. Is what these people are essentially doing, if the analogy plays out.
So actually, this is something more suited for Anand, who does magic in a completely different.
I say we try and put our heads together and figure this out. I think this is worth understanding better.
I very much agree. And since we have a bit of time on our hands, we may as well put it to good use.
All right, let me get out my little writing kit here. Folding desk.
Nerd.
Yeah. And I guess we just kind of like start taking on.
So, just practicing with Onid. Alistair, just this is outside of roles or what have you. You do note that you weren't sure exactly how she did her magic, but she's doing it in a way completely new and novel to you. It's not exactly arcane, sourced, as she's not interacting with the weave directly. She's using some intermediary to power her magic, but it's not, you don't think, divinely sourced like a cleric or paladin's would be. So it's strange to you how she's able to use magic at all.
That's interesting, right? I've dealt with some clerics in my time, but this is something new. It's like channeling, but so have you ever seen a dam before?
Yes, I have.
Sometimes when a dam is over flooded on the surplus side, they'll open up a little bit. A small little porthole, a valve, if you will. And all of that water suddenly comes spraying out. Suddenly and quickly. It's almost like that. Like you're tapping into an immense source of power all at once.
Anand is quiet for a very long moment and sort of looks around and makes sure no one is listening in. And then she leans in and says very quietly in Celestial, "That's because not all bargains are made for the worse, Alistair."
I'll respond back in Celestial. Sure it's worth it. And sure you trust them.
Would you just trust an Archangel?
Well, you never know at these times. Their crusade might not be the same as our crusade.
Very true. But he took me in, so to speak, when I had nothing else. And he was a friend of my father.
Talk about some friends in high places.
Quite literally, as it were. In fact.
Well, you've got a good head on your shoulders. I don't. Make some wise decisions. Wiser than these.
That is my intent. And I suppose we shall see how it goes from here. But I don't wonder if what I do and what you do in combination may be the key to unraveling this particular mystery of how magic was once done.
Well, it's a start.
Yeah,
What are you two doing over there?
Yeah, you do think that working with Onid more in her unique way of doing magic, sort of outside of what you had known previously, is a good stepping stone for delving deeper into the mysteries of the arcane.
Dun, dun, dun.
What are you nerds working on? Says Slizik.
Yeah.
Just trying to find out how to make spells.
Ooh.
Books. Anna just waves the book and Slizik.
My eyes just glaze over and I turn away.
Now, hold on. There's some interesting play between these formulas. See, when you take the inverse of the thaumaturgic principle.
Oh, Jesus.
Sure.
And Slizik runs away before he falls asleep.
Yeah. So you guys pass the days away talking to each other, learning more about each other, learning more about these dwarves, engaging in fun activities like fishing, helping out, eating, drinking, playing cards, dice, what have you. But you're rapidly approaching Rydal. And the rest of you, even if you haven't been on a ship before or sailed before, due to the expertise of the dwarven sailors and the nature of this vessel, you don't get sick. You pass the time relatively in good health, which is the case for most of you. The exception is Slizik. At about midday on the fourth day, you start to feel a little nauseous,
I don't feel so good.
and you wave it off as like something you ate or irritable bowel syndrome, that sort of thing.
That's all that raw fish.
But it gets worse, and you start to like occasionally dry heave. You got a headache. You get dizzy, and you have no idea what's going on to you because this has never happened before.
I swear this never happens.
I'm gonna offer him cheese.
Yes, raw fish and cheese. Thank you. Get that in my body.
But one of the dwarves sees you in this state and says, "Snake Eyes, what's wrong with you?"
Sorry. God, that was funny. I apologize.
Don't tell me a seasoned sailor like you is coming down with seasickness.
This never happens, I swear. I don't know what's happening. Oh, jeez.
As soon as you eat that cheese, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. Oh, boy. Constitution.
You just vomit all over it, wherever you're at. Just cheese, fish heads come out.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
I'm kind of embarrassed like a dog that got into the garbage.
Sick, dude. What did you drink?
Oh, I don't even know.
You feel really
Just all
cold,
of the
and if you
stuff.
had sweat glands... Wait, do dragonborn have sweat glands? I'm assuming they're like reptiles.
What a great question. I don't know.
But you just feel really cold
They're
and shivery.
warm-blooded.
Yeah. I better get to my bunk. I'll just crawl to my bunk as best I can.
Yeah. The dwarf will, as you sort of walk away, they'll show you to it and says, "Weird, this never had a seasoned sailor like you get seasick."
Has this happened to me before?
No, this has never happened to you. Maybe, let's see. You recall this sensation very long time ago, when you were but a wee little lad.
Sure.
Your first time sailing with your father. You were this violently ill, and it's not that bad as that time. That time you were just sprawled, leaned over the side of the ship, just vomiting into the ocean almost constantly. This isn't that bad, but it's very reminiscent.
I'll just make my way to my bunk and try and just kind of rest it off, I suppose.
It gets worse.
Okay.
I assume that Anna's going to hear about Slizik doing a puke eventually, and she's going to go seek him out and try her cool fancy cleansing hand spell.
Yeah,
Which
so a
is-
lot of these dwarves are offering you like home remedies for seasickness, advice, herbs you can try.
I take them all.
You try them all, none of them are working.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
So you try your cleansing hand ability on it. And this is the 5th day. You will be approaching Rydal very soon. But you try it out because you need Slick on his best, on his 100% as you're going to this new city. Fraught with danger or potential danger. So you try your cleansing hand. And so you use, similar to how Alaric uses his healing ability, your hand glows briefly. And you lay it on Slizik. Slizik, you feel momentarily, as soon as she touches you, for a brief moment, you feel like you always have. Like you're content. You're on the ocean. Not sorry. You're on a ship. You're fine. This is like your home where you're supposed to be. You're a little bit hungry. You could use some cheese, and then as soon as she retracts her hand, it's back.
Oh, jeez. It worked for a second, like 1 second, and then when you took your hand off, it hurt again. Oh.
That's very strange. That perhaps there's some sort of very powerful magic on you?
Give him some ale, he'll be fine.
I tried.
You give him some ale.
And
I don't-
as she's talking,
Off.
as she's talking to you, Slizik, you let's see.
Oh, boy.
I want to see something really quick. Just no reason. Just no
Sure.
reason. I want to see your character sheet really quick. Now, I believe you should have more gold than that, but let's just. This is basically, as she's talking, you're hearing what she's saying, and you're like, "Oh, I'm sick. But then her tone, at least to you, shifts, and it's like
Oh,
a
it is
mocking
good.
tone now.
Oh.
And
Why do you come
and
down
you
here?
swear that she's looking at your coin purse.
Why are you looking at my purse for? I'll just kind of like shift myself away a little bit.
I'm not.
Why'd you come down here just
Well,
to
now
make
she,
fun
now
of
she
me?
is. No, I was trying to
Be
warn
gone.
you. What's wrong?
I just turn over like a grumpy child.
I don't understand. There.
Make a perception check on it, or a medicine check. All right. So something strange happened to Slizik when you were talking to him about relieving his symptoms, using your ability. He seemed all up and for it, and then when you removed your hand, you explained like, "Well, that's weird. It should have worked." And then you saw something had changed in his eyes. What color are your irises usually, Slizik?
I'll say like kind of orange, I guess.
All right, they shifted to gold.
Ooh.
Oh. Well then. Do they stay gold or
Well, his back's turned to you, so. But what he was like, "Why are you looking at my gold purse? Get away from me!" All that stuff. His irises were gold, but he sort of turned his back to you, and you can't see them now.
Lucy, just a moment. Just turn around for just a moment.
All right, if I see you going for my purse, I better not. And I'll just kind of flip over, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Are his eyes still gold?
they're stray gold. Like the irises, like before it was like before you could barely tell, but now it's just yeah. It's almost shocking how gold they are.
So they look like her eyes, basically.
Yes.
That's so like your eyes have changed. Why are your eyes golden? Is there perhaps we should get Alistair. No one's going to touch your purse. I'll be right back.
I'll just kind of narrow my eyes at her as she leaves.
Anna's gonna book it to look for Alistair, and actually she's gonna look for everyone because this is a problem.
So Aj is still in there with him. Was she really gonna go for your purse?
I saw her looking at it. I see you looking at it as well. Don't think I don't notice.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at it.
I'd like to cast as a ritual, detect poison and disease.
All right. So, you managed to do that under the watchful glare of Slizik, trying to ensure that none of you are trying to steal his gold, as it were. But you get back nothing.
I don't have detect magics this.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey.
Yes.
Hi.
I'm guessing the
Welcome.
situation. I've been listening this entire time, by the way. I'm guessing the situation was explained by Anna.
Yes.
Yes.
Honored came looking for everyone. So Audra was already there, but she would have gone looking for Alistair and Tara.
But real quick
because
rundown, just so everyone's on the same page. He has. It looks like he is a constant state of seasickness, as far as physical symptoms. Constant state of seasickness. His irises are now golden, and he is exhibiting this extreme paranoia.
But so
Okay.
I do have detect magic. I can cast that as a ritual.
I'm gonna examine him.
All right. Using what ability?
My eyes.
Okay. Investigation, perception.
I'll do investigation.
and just so we're all on the exact same page, Anand did just use a spell to try and end or remove a disease, poison, or spell. But it can only work on a spell up to a level that she can cast, which would be level 2.
So you're going over Slizik. You're getting as close as he allows because he obviously doesn't want. He's trying to maneuver his coin away from you. What he views as your grasping hands. But as far as what your investigation reveals, it's nothing that you can't see normally, or what Onan has explained to you. You are 4th level still.
Would I have read anything about this in any of my previous studies as a prior nerd?
So you study at Odessa, right? So you've got magical textbooks and whatnot. Give me a history or a religion check, or arcana. Okay. So let's see. You recall a bit of information that you've read. You're not sure exactly how this happened to Slizik, but you're fairly certain that in one of the books of like magic that you've read, there's ways to alter people's behavior subtly or more overtly, as well as have them experience a sickness. So you do think that this is magical in nature, but the source of it, what caused it, why it's, what or who caused it, um, why it's only afflicting Slizik, that sort of thing, is beyond you. But you do think it is magical in nature.
Can I try something?
Here's some music going. But yeah, what do you want to try?
Well, I'm just going to continue looking over the rest of him as if I'm doing like a second pass of my examination. And I want to try and, in like a swift motion, this is going to sound horrible, cut him with a knife and take that coin purse.
Wait, you said cut him with a knife and what?
Take the coin purse. I
Make
want
an
to see what
attack roll
happens
against
when...
Slizik.
Okay. He's prone, right? So I have advantage?
I don't even know how to. I didn't expect this, but just make a normal attack roll.
Prone and disease.
Let it happen, Nate.
Just make it. Oh yeah, you hit him. That's above your armor class, right? I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, you're not.
No, that doesn't hit me actually.
Oh, because your new armor.
Yeah.
So, it bounces off your armor, but it distracts you enough to make a sleight of to allow you to make a sleight of hand check, Tara. All right.
I knew it.
So you very clearly see her, stab you. So even in your delirious, sick state, you see Tara pull a dagger, try to cut you, but it slides against your armor. And you also, with the other hand, see you reaching for your coin purse, but you very clearly see it. It's how do you respond?
Oh boy. I'm so sorry. I grab her around the throat with 2 hands and I lift her up. I start throttling her.
Okay, that'll be athletics for you, and to get out of that is an athletics acrobatics.
I knew you just wanted my gold.
Who is there right now?
Hold on, everyone.
Everyone is here.
Everyone is there. Yeah.
But this has happened very quickly. Okay, so yeah, he's lifting you up. And he's got a firm lock on it. You try to get out, but
You're staring into my golden eyes.
he's got weird, crazy, like drunk strength, but not. It's
Also my sweet muscles.
yeah, his muscles are bulging, veins popping, golden eyes staring at you. You notice he's foaming at the mouth a little bit now too. It's really.
I'm just saying I knew it over and over again.
I want to cast a spell.
Okay.
I would like to cast Suggestion on Slizik.
All right.
I'll say, lie down and be happy and compliant for the rest of the time we're here.
It's a wisdom save.
It's a wisdom.
Oof, you got me there.
You're not the best at that. Okay,
Nope.
yes.
Oof.
So, as soon as you say that, your eyes sort of glaze over. There's still gold, but it's dull now, and you just drop Tara, and say, "Rest sounds good," and you can get back into bed. Just start snoring away.
It's like instinctively raises
What
the knife
is
again
the
to go at him
name
again,
of
but
the-
doesn't.
Aspect.
What were you thinking?
So did you in fact use detect magic?
Yes, I would like to use Detect Magic now as a ritual.
Okay.
I'd see my coin.
I
Yeah.
thought that if, like when a kid's misbehaving,
This is a very large kid.
Stab them and take their
Like a 6'5"
No,
kid with 20
no.
strength.
no, you lead them on with their object of desire until they're too tired to continue.
You would get tired
So-
before he.
You-
stab
Dragon
them
Ball.
and take their purse.
There is, before, you've cast Detect Magic in the presence of Slizik before, and you didn't really notice anything odd about his person. There was a weak connection to the divine there. Just based on what he can do, you think it's something to do with and who he prayed to in the temple, something to do with Nyrisi. But now there's like this ominous black, like oppressive aura around him. That's just is really gross and bad to look at,
Oh dear.
and hurts your eyes to do so.
None of your other plans worked, so I tried.
So, do I get anything specific at all? Just like a.
You're fairly certain this is a curse.
Oh. Well, there's some sort of really disgusting, dark energies around him now, and I believe that our dear friend here is cursed.
Cursed?
I thought we were blessed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was choice.
No, I don't know. I'd like to, like, I want to do like a tour of the whole boat to see if there's anything that pings in the detect magic that's like similar to his situation.
When would we have been cursed?
Not we. Him.
Did I say we? I meant we.
Yeah, Slizik is the only one that you can see, Alistair, that has this black aura around him. Let me see. You don't see anything on the ship that's similar to this or that's magical, other than the stuff you are carrying, and your companions.
I have a. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Sorry. No, you. Sorry. I would like to touch Slizik and cast Identify on him to see if there's like what exactly is happening to him, and like just how powerful of an ability is this.
Let me look up what that spell does exactly.
Here, I'll post it.
Okay. This is, you know it's a magical effect, but it's not a spell.
Huh. Is there any check I can make to like have some insight into its origins or like what sort of magic? Like, is it a fey curse? Is it somebody looked at him and gave him the evil eye and now he's cursed? Like, is there any way I could narrow it down?
Let's see. I'm trying to think based on what
Arcana, maybe?
Yeah, but you would need some baseline info to help first. Let me hold off on that. 1 second. I'll go back to Alistair.
Okay.
Alistair, give me an Arcana check while you're running around with this detect magic. I'm trying to find stuff.
20.
Okay.
Ooh.
So something strange happens as the last couple of minutes of detect magic. You're like, this is weird. This whatever is affecting Slizik somehow only affected him. It's really weird, strange. Nothing else in the ship's magical. What's going on? And then you see something, like in your detecty magic-y sense, is that you missed before. Because it was very, very, very slight. And now focusing on it, you see it's like a twisting strand. But it's the same blackness, has the same sort of ominous aura, or presence rather, that the aura that was affecting Slizik had.
Just want to point out, you said aura or
Yes.
I meant to say it gives off a feeling. This is for clarification. It gives off a feeling similar to the ominous aura that that's affecting Slizik right now. There's
want
something
to.
beeping, so I will be right back to figure out what that is.
Oh,
It's a bomb.
house is on fire.
What's that mysterious ticking noise?
So is a bless and a curse? Do they negate each other? Is this Lizik in his neutral, normal state baseline?
I don't know.
If only that was how it worked. Yeah, well, I think it's that coin that he has.
Good
That's how it
riddance.
works in Arkham Horror. You can be doubly cursed, doubly blessed, but a bless and a curse will cancel each other out.
Alright, I'm back.
What
Look
it
at
was?
It was the fire detector.
Oh, I was right. How on fire are you?
I am fine. And so, but the battery was not. So,
Uh,
all right. So, where were we? Yes. Okay. So,
yeah, I want to trace that that little faint ping that I got
all right.
to the source.
So it's going off in two different directions. One is, where are you currently in the ship?
I don't know. I did detect magic and then.
Okay, so you're
was,
wandering
trying to look
around.
forward. Yeah.
So well, let's split this way. You fall up to one way, and true to what you thought, it leads you back to Slizik, and you see now that it's sort of arcing off of him into this sort of very subtle strand, and so you begin to follow the other way, and it leads you on a twisting route, but eventually, it leads you up into the deck, and then you see it sort of go into the sky, and then go over the deck, and go into the water.
So it's in the water, like current.
Yes,
Are we moving?
you are moving.
Is it like being left behind, or moving along with the boat?
It's moving along with you guys.
Oh, everyone, come over here, please.
Okay, coming over.
Once everyone's over there, down there in the water somewhere, I believe to be something tied to his current condition. And I want to try and I want to look in the water to see if there's.
Give me another
anything
Arcana
there.
check.
Okay. Not good.
That is not good. Yeah, so you're looking into the water. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you like
I'm looking for like glints and shadows, shapes.
All right. Give me a perception, and you can all engage in this endeavor if you so choose.
Anand is going to cast light on, I don't know, this copper or something, and toss it into the water near where, or actually he's going to give it to Alistair to toss into the water wherever he's looking at, to see if it illuminates anything.
I'll tie like a little string around it, so like I can
Okay. So
lower it.
yeah, like
and
the
so it stays with the
fishing bob, but
Yeah.
going in the water. Yeah. So you guys don't see. You see some fish that seem freaked out by this bright light. You see some like the river stone, river rocks, that sort of thing. But you don't see anything that could be causing this curse. You don't see any items, creatures of evil or weird nature. Tara, what was I forgot? But what was it you were trying to deduce? the curse type, right? Or the type of magic that was being used.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Give me, with this information that Alistair has revealed and that you have taken in. I'm trying to decide what check would be most appropriate for this, because you're not exactly familiar with this type of work. But give me, I would say this would be, I mean Arcana check. Yeah, it'd still be Arcana.
Yay, low rolls.
Yeah, so you think you're trying to expand upon what Alistair has been laying down, but you're just unable to fathom it.
Okay, I have a bit of an idea. It would require me to break my concentration on keeping Slizik subdued, but I propose just an outright attack on the water with one of my spells.
You got those cold breath things too you can use.
Which one of your spells?
So I have a flaming sphere, although I was thinking I could turn it into a bit of a lightning sphere for the water.
You
What?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, he's weird like that. He can do it.
I was confused.
Yeah, you have seen him sculpt spells before. Change the damage output of ones that you are usually pretty familiar with. For instance, there was a thunder wave that was not thunder, it was acid, so it was an acid wave.
I'm a bit concerned about what might happen if we don't keep Slizik subdued, but this may be the only way to find out what's happening.
Unless if someone else has some kind of ability they can do that's similar.
Can I determine a general sense of how deep this water is?
All right, so the boat that you're using is not, the ship you're on is not meant for sea sailing. It's got sort of a flatter bed on it. So the river itself only goes about, you think 20, 30 feet down.
So we can't see the bottom of it, right?
With the light, you can. He's got like a light on an object that you're dangling down with a string or a rope or something to the water.
Do we really think it's the water causing the problem, or do we think there's an artifact down there?
Or a creature, possibly.
You guys don't know. You have not been good on your rolls.
Alistair did say that the thread of magic was following the ship.
Why don't one of us jump down there and see what it is?
That seems extraordinarily dangerous.
It's just water.
Can I do an Arcana check based on my previous history check?
Yes. Oh man.
Well, shit.
You guys are not rolling well.
Okay. Do I still see the line?
So your detect magic is running out, but it's still going into the water. Make another the last one I'll give you. Make another Arcana check. You're trying to focus in on what exactly is causing this. Whether God, why?
Oh,
you guys are so bad.
3 on the die. I'm okay. I'm just gonna. I want to use my gauntlet. I'm gonna just like lean over the side, engage, and let loose.
Tara, the reason I was giving Alistair another one is because he was actively using detect magic and he can see this. And he's trying to examine it further. So you can make an Arcana roll to determine the source of this, but you need to cast Detect Magic as well.
Oh, I thought that was just for everybody since everybody started rolling.
So you just start like essentially turning the water on this side of the ship into slush, because it's obviously getting cold around you due to the output of this weapon, and the water is turning icy, but because it's moving so quickly, and the ship's also moving too, it's sort of like breaking it as soon as it's being formed. So it sort of has the consistency of like a frozen Coke. And so you're making a slushy essentially. But you don't hear any shrieks of pain. You don't hear anything. I mean, there are some dead fish that come up. Just the shock of the cold, now that you're in some more temperate climate, is enough to sort of kill them. Also, the damage you're dealing also helps. They're sort of floating to the surface as well. But there's nothing, you don't see anything else being affected by this.
I'll cast Detect Magic at this point and make that Arcana check.
Alright. So, looking at it more closely, you do see what Alistair has mentioned, that it's sort of coming, this sort of strain is going into the water. But looking closely now, with your third eye, you see that it's not exactly going into the water. It's like leaching off the water's surface. Like it's spraying out into like a spider's web of smaller strands that are all sort of drawing from the water's surface.
Can I grab a rope and sort of scale the side of the boat to get a close look at what exactly is happening?
Yeah, you can.
See if it
You might need
leads
someone
anywhere.
You might need somewhere or someone to anchor it to.
The posts along the boat.
That'll work. But yeah, so you go and get as close as to this water as you can. I'm assuming. Is there anything in particular you're looking for while down here?
Well, you mentioned that this comes in a weird spiderweb pattern. Hold on one moment. Sorry about that. Yeah, you mentioned that it's in a strange pattern, so I want to see if that has like an apex somewhere or like a central point where it comes from.
Okay.
Because if it's stretching out,
So
like a spiderweb has a center.
Yeah.
So
give me another. And we'll still use your Arcana check from before. So now closely to it, and you're really close, you see like it's before, just because you were just looking at it from a distance, you weren't up close, you didn't see the minutia, as it were. It was too fine of a detail for you to see at that distance, but up close you see that these strands that are sort of that this main one is coming out from and leading onto the ship, it's sort of spread out. Its roots, the spider's web, goes as far as you can see along the water's surface. It is behind you. It is ahead of you. It is all around you.
I'm gonna hoist myself back up and then go look at Slitzik again and see if that spider web happens across him as well, or if the pattern changes on his person.
No, it's not that. It's just that you just see that aura, that black, ominous, oppressive, gross aura around him. And you see that sort of strand leading back to the water's surface.
Where exactly does the strand point to on him?
It is shifting. Like it's not in a fixed position. Whenever he moves, like in his sleep or something, it sort of moves with him. But it seems to be oriented in a direction that is closest to the water. Or rather, the point A to point B from Slizik to the closest water surface, not directly through the ship, like down through the hole, is where this strand is going.
I feel like it has to do with that black coin of his. Is there any way I could find that on his person if it's there?
Yeah. So give me an investigation check.
Jesus Christ,
You
these rolls.
you cannot find it on his person.
But you could tell the rest of the party.
Oh, I assume that this was all being sort of telegraphed as it happened.
You gotta see it.
Did I not? I'm sorry.
Yeah, everyone just look at you as you sort of like jumped over the side, then stare at the water, then climb back up, and just walk back to Slizik. Everyone's like, well, that was weird.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, I might have forgotten to mention it. But no, I mean, I would have kept everybody abreast of information that was discovered.
All right.
Okay. Can others of us do an
So if you want an
investigation?
investigation check, Alistair, you can make another. Give me a religion check this time, Alistair. You are you have cleric, right?
One level in cleric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Religion check. Okay. So this is what you guys find with the investigation. You don't see this black coin that was mentioned anywhere on his person, but you do notice that how Slizik is resting, it's sort of like in the fetal position. And at his core that he's protecting is his coin purse. And jammed into it is one of his hands. And you sort of coax the coin purse out of his almost death grip on it, or you loosen his death grip on it, or the strings of the bag enough to see what's inside, and you see that his fist is tightly enclosed around something, and you see just the black glint of something metallic in his fist, that he's holding
And
onto in
that's
sort
not
of
the
death
coin
grip.
he flipped. That's not the coin he normally has with him, right? That he flips.
That's the only black coin you know of, and this is the only. You see a dark glint of metal in there in his hand.
Tara looks back at the others and raises the knife with an eyebrow as well.
Oh man. Okay.
Well, don't cut off his hand. You can't fix that.
He's mending, right? That works.
Hand. I was just going to poke him.
But your religion check, Walker, with everything that you guys have uncovered, deduced, seen, sensed, this, you're not sure what exactly is doing it, but you think it's not a mundane creature that has done this curse, just based on what Tar has described to you. You think something very powerful from how this curse is sourced, how it seems to be connected to the water or the river. Something very powerful, perhaps connected to water, is responsible for this curse. But it is most definitely a powerful being, you think. What exactly, you're not sure. But very magic-y, powerful being.
Okay, so something, you said something in the water.
No, it's not something in the water. It's using the water as a medium.
Ooh.
Can I do the Indiana Jones thing, by the way?
You think, I will give you think that Slizik's close proximity to the water is why he is acting this way. Based on how this tether of his always moves to be near the water, how it sort of spider webs into to cover all the water's surface that's around him. There's definitely a connection to water there. You can try, but he literally has a death grip on. He's not letting this coin, whatever this thing is, most likely the black coin, go. Like, it's not like Indiana Jones style where it's just sitting there. He literally has his fist around it, like reflexively just holding it tight. So you need to do a check to, not sleight of hand. You need to like force his hand open.
Well, that's easy to do while he's paralyzed.
Well, he's not paralyzed. Are you going to make him paralyzed?
He is now.
He snaps my spine.
Kick him in the lower back. No, I cast a whole person on him.
All right. Give me a wisdom save, Slizik.
Sorry, Jesse, for bullying
Oh,
you.
fuck me up.
Yes! Oh, man, you are bad. See, there are going to be a lot of powerful creatures in the future that have like mind control abilities. You might want to work on your wisdom saves.
I have big muscles. That'll save me.
Yes, of course, because the mind is also a muscle.
Yep. Wait, what? Big muscles will save me. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so you are having a pleasant dream of where you are just swimming in a sea of gold, and it's all good, and you're playing, and you're laughing. There's cheese as well, and you're like, it's the best. Drinks as much as you want. You think of them. You just of a thing you want to eat or drink, and you just dip your hand in this river of gold coins, and you pull it up, and it's in your hand, and it's great, and you're floating along blissfully, peacefully along this sea of gold, and then you just seize up, and you're snapped back out of your dream to your senses, and you see everyone around you staring at your bag of gold, and you can't move to stop them, and they're now reaching for your bag of gold.
Oh my god, it's torture.
And they
It's
take your bag of gold.
I am just radiating hatred right now.
It's like one of those when you wake up during surgery.
Yeah.
I've had that happen before. It wasn't fun.
And let me see okay, so wait. You automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, so they can just take this from you. Your muscles are useless now. They just they pry open, you're looking down, you don't know when it happened, but you unconsciously gripped this black coin in your hand, in your coin purse, and they take the coin purse away from you. They open up your hand one by one, fingers one by one, take this black coin out.
Oh my god, I'm so angry. Slizik is just like
You're
radiating.
frothing a bit at the
anger.
mouth. It's leaking out.
Not a happy boy.
All right, you guys have successfully arrested away from Slizik. Oh, it's not really arrested. It's more like taking candy from a baby because of his position.
Well, okay. Let's...
You have taken away from Slizik both his gold and in this black coin.
I don't care about his gold. I'll throw back his coin purse. That's for sure.
Splat. It just hits you in the face.
Yes. But the black coin I'll hang on to. Well, not for long. I want to take it out and toss it into the sea.
Oh.
Touching it feels bad. Like you start to feel seasick when you touch it. The dry mouth, cold sweat.
Expediency then. Am I throwing away like a major plot item for you, Jesse? Because like I don't want to do that. And I know that's meta,
But
but
how do you?
I will. Yeah, you. I will adjudicate appropriately. So you throw it over. But Slizik is still paralyzed, so you can't really see any change in him. He goes plop in the water. You don't really see anything happen. Like, there's not a flash of light. There's not, like, fireworks going off. There's not like, ooh, you did something good or bad or whatever. You can't, it doesn't really seem happens as far as you can tell.
I'd say tie him up, but he just break out of those instantly.
Muscles.
I'm gonna hide some. Oh, sorry.
I would be ready to attack him. Should he go crazy?
Fair enough.
I'm going to lift off the suggestion spell shortly. Everyone ready?
Well, he is still paralyzed, even if you lift off. He is still held.
Oh.
That's the main thing. Suggestion was broken as soon as he was held by him. Like, because he was attacked then. Essentially.
Okay.
Well, when everybody's ready, Tara will give them a glance. Any head nods, any okays, any concerns,
Thumbs up.
questions?
I'm ready.
Got an Eldritch Blast ready to go.
Okay, then I am dropping concentration.
Right, Slizik, you are no longer held. You're now Sans Black Coin. You feel a little less nauseous, but it's still there.
So I
But
still
your
have the
greatest
effect.
fears / paranoia / what have you has been realized because, and then only briefly, they did take your gold from you.
So I am still under the effects, right?
Yes, you were still under the effects, as you have not completed all of your
Okay.
conditions for removing it.
Then
I still gold.
I'll probably freak the fuck out, right? Like that's what he would do.
Yeah, he would.
So I just who had my coin purse? Tara? Who had the black
You
coin?
have it now. It's on your person once again. Tara took the black coin from you, though.
Then I attack her again. I try and throttle her ass again.
It's athletics to grapple.
Oh my
and,
god.
Acrobatics or athletics to break out. What are you doing, Aja?
I think we all had attacks ready in case he did this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make an illusion that looks just like the black coin.
Okay. So you see a black coin.
I mean, I did see her take it out, right?
Yeah, but you see it return to you somehow, and in your disillusioned state.
I want it on its edge, kind of like rolling along the floor in circles to distract him.
Well, I'll try and grab it.
Yeah, you grab it. It's not difficult. If she's not making it move out of this room, you can easily grab it.
Can I? Is it physically
No,
there?
it's not.
Yeah,
You have been
okay,
magically
well,
duped by your quote friends once again.
I'm probably going into a rage at this point, so some
Probably.
electricity starts bubbling up around you guys.
What do you? Yeah. So
I don't know what's the plan here. Do
I
attack
don't
me?
know if they know what's the plan here.
I imagine they get their licks in before I can do anything, since they were waiting.
Yeah. So you go into a rage, but when you see him, sort of, before it's been more controlled. Now it's like the temperature around you drops a little bit. He
Rage knows no
he
bounds.
starts foaming at the mouth and just making sounds, not even draconic, but just like sounds. His scales, should the light catch them, have a strange golden hue to them now as well. And he is enraged and is moving to attack you guys.
You probably hear me muttering something, or not muttering, yelling about the coin, or something. But yeah, y'all's move.
Anna's gonna throw a Eldritch Blast. Very sorry.
No, fuck me up.
Can I? Do we do initiative at all, or?
Let's just say, since you've all each prepared, you all get to go, and then it's Slizzik's turn if he's still up.
I cast hold person.
But you do still know that this is not Slithic is not in his right mind. Something is magic. This curse is magically affecting him some way.
Kick him in the balls. Drop the testosterone
So
levels.
that's it's. I don't think that's how magic works, but you can try.
So you're doing hold person?
Yes.
Wisdom save.
Sorry, I know your weakness.
I think 15 is it though.
That actually makes it.
He is so enraged. He breaks out.
I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. And I'll say, what did the sailor say to his old friend? I'll see you later.
Is that a wisdom or charisma save?
That's a wisdom save.
All right. Poor Slizzik. All these wisdom saves. Roll another one. Oh, there it is. So he begins. So he is smiling. He's laughing through the hate because he is magically forced to laugh by your spell, but he is still foaming at the mouth, eyes glaring daggers at you, but he is still laughing due to the spell. But it's very the juxtaposition is strange because normally
it's like that maniac laugh that happens right before you snap and kill somebody.
Yeah,
in your walls with their blood.
Exactly.
But he's prone now due to that as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
at this point, all these dwarves are rushing in like,
Yeah.
what Nereus's name's going on here? You're trying to bring the ship down! Casting spells willy-nilly.
The man's got it.
Everybody just has weapons drawn. Probably.
Get your coin!
Go get the shit.
Does anyone have a spell that's not actually going to hurt him?
Yes, the one I cast.
Yeah, he's laughing on the ground. He's ruffling right now. The dwarves are like shocked that of Slizzik's behavior. Also, his ruffling seems to off-put them. So
Go get chains. Go get chains and tie him up.
Oh, they just get a club and bonk him over the head until he passes out.
It's like that scene from Airplane where one after the other they come up and smack him in the face.
Yeah, can I just bonk him with my
Yeah,
staff?
they're just doing non-lethal bludgeoning damage until he gets knocked out.
That's brutal, dude. Holy fuck. Like some gang initiation.
They say, this is where you're good, Snake
This is
Eyes.
the actual word.
We'll deal with you once we reach land.
For your own good.
Okay, clearly, oh, good. Oh, aspects
He's
of
laughing
all
for
right.
a while this is happening.
He's laughing until he is knocked out.
This is Anna is just like got her.
I mean, everyone can take a turn. You all have advantage because he's prone, and they just keep on doing it until you're knocked out.
Yeah, exactly that scene.
But then they do in fact tie him up, with chains, not just rope. They get the ship's doctor to look over him, but he doesn't see anything medically wrong with him. But unfortunately, they don't have a magic-y person with them to figure out what you guys would figure out. But they do suggest taking him to a temple or something. Maybe a priest there can clear his condition.
Well, he's cursed, so no.
Perhaps. I don't know if we should have gotten rid of that coin.
I mean, it can't be too far.
You're going to find a coin in the riverbed?
You were hundreds of feet from that coin now.
Yeah, like if the ship's been moving the whole time and you just kind of toss it into the river, this is not great.
I guess not.
And with that, you guys arrive at Rydal. Yay!
What a great day.
The last episode was all like Slick's awesome. Now it's like, oh, Slick.
Yeah.
She's on the other foot now. But you struggle mightily against these chains, so it's like if you were still enraged, which probably, I mean, time
Sure do.
does heal all wounds. Just so you're angry. But now you begin to feel. Before you felt sick, like
Oh.
but it didn't confer any mechanical debuffs to you. But now,
Yeah.
now that you are sort of in Rydal proper, as the ship pulls up and you awaken from being knocked out, you don't feel as awesome as you usually do. And mechanically how that is you have disadvantage on all ability checks now.
Oy.
Is he still raging?
I think it lasts a minute.
Yeah, you're no longer raging.
No,
You're
I
not
meant like,
unconscious.
well, is he still like paranoid?
Oh yeah.
Well, if he acts up, I'm gonna be ready with like a club just to bonk him again. I'm gonna threaten him. Better behave.
But sort of he's I'm assuming he's also gagged, so he can't yell at you guys, but he's sort of in chains. Dwarves are like, Snake Eyes, what happened to you?
So Anand is going to ask them if they know anything about a black coin that has to do with the sea or sailors or.
I think it has a skull and crossbones on it now.
They say, black coin. Like when you say black coin, they are deadly serious.
Yes, a black coin.
And did you try to restore its luster?
No.
We tried to give it a wash.
Scraping, washing it, scraping off the taint.
Ugh.
Using chemicals.
It was thrown into the river, but I think the particular issue started previous.
He's had that coin for a while, so he might have.
They say, poor old Snake Eyes. Who would have thought?
Could you clarify on
who would have
this?
thought? Such a good lad at first impressions. Such a good lad.
You going to
What are you
tell us
talking
the
about?
significance of this, or
Snake Eyes is cursed. The black.
yes, I
Well,
literally
yes.
just told you that.
The
We
black.
figured that part out.
The black coin is the proof of it.
And if that proof was perhaps lost,
Well, he's still afflicted by the curse, so suffice to say there's others out there. How familiar are you with sailing customs?
not.
Only the elven kind.
So, Narisi usually doesn't have temples. There are exceptions, of course, like in Stormhaven, but her temple is the sea. And you tithe to Nyrisi by giving the sea its due. And what that means is you are transporting goods. You pay Nyrisi a certain percentage of those goods, the price of them, in gold coin. And during your journey, you generally load it up into some sort of container, chest, depending on pouch, depending on the size, and you dump it overboard.
So
If
you're
you don't
saying-
do that, let's just say you decide to spit in the face of the aspects, then she has a way of enacting vengeance upon you, usually in the form of a curse known as gold fever.
Wow. All this because Nyrisi's a bitch?
Perhaps don't insult the aspect, but what do we do now? The coin is gone. It's in the river somewhere.
Well, that's fine. I don't know exactly how much he stiffed, or his family, or whatever stiffed Nyrisi, but you have to find all of the black coins and return them to the water.
Well, that's one down.
So there's more.
I don't know his circumstances, but if he's still cursed, suffice to say there's more.
And what do we do with him in the meantime? He
Try to keep him away from large bodies of water. Don't make any sudden moves around him or his coin purse.
Is the curse only active on the sea?
It generally affects people when they're close to bodies of water. Also, those in possession of large amounts of coin can alleviate it somewhat. But the more coin you have, the more paranoid you become.
So we just rob him then.
that
Before.
explains some.
We just take all of his money.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
What happens then?
He might die.
So we give him one go.
A copper piece?
Yeah.
So, the curse affects you psychologically and physically. Generally speaking, from what we've heard of I don't know why I change accents. Generally speaking, what we've seen in the past, some poor sod fool who thought he was better than the aspects. The more gold they possess, the physical ailments subside, but the psychological increase. It's the opposite. The less gold he possesses, the psychological symptoms, the paranoia decrease, but the physical ailments increase. It can even possibly result in being bedridden, and or in most extreme cases, we have heard of one person who died.
Yeah, why do people worship Nyrisi?
If you worship the aspects as intended, then
Yes, this tide is to ensure safe travels, so you're not attacked by pirates, or a storm doesn't happen, or rough sea. It basically ensures safe passage through Nyrisi's domain.
Sounds like a shakedown, but alright.
So what you're saying is that we need to get him off the boat and into the city as soon as.
That might help his symptoms somewhat.
Lovely. All right. Then I suppose we have something about.
So, I'm supposed to tell you also where to find the Queen of Hearts. Just in case, I was told you wanted to meet with her. So, while you're keeping Snake Eyes here away from the water, see if you can make your way into the red light district. You can't really miss it.
Let me guess. It's got red lights.
Yes, usually at night. Not during the day so much. But
Also, just a quick concern. If we're in Rydal, it's going to be pretty hard to keep him away from the water, don't you think?
yeah, that's an issue that you'll have to navigate on your own.
We could just put him in a box with holes. You know, for air.
But yeah, so I think concluding your business here in Rydal as soon as possible would be for the best for Slizik. Outside of finding all of those black coins and returning them to the water.
This is going to be very interesting.
You could find some here in Rydal.
Alistair, do you have some way of making him forget that
Well, the Modify Memory
know.
spell is a very high-level spell I don't think he has access to yet.
I can make him forget for maybe 8 hours. Maybe 8 hours at best.
if we hit him in the head enough times, will he forget?
You could also give him just
Also,
a
just
concussion
brain
and regular
damage.
old brain
CT.
He might have some trouble reading and spelling and fine motor skills.
Just walking in general.
He doesn't need those.
Gripping his
I'm
maul.
fairly sure we need him to be able to swing his weapon.
Oh, come on, let's not pretend
We'll-
that
we'll
I have swings.
Bar might do it.
Sorry, Elijah, were you saying something?
One night in the bar might do it.
Well,
That's true. We could get him incredibly wasted.
You were just going to have
perhaps if you find
We'll convince him it was a
Confront him
dream.
about what you've done.
so you could do that, but just be careful. Remember, he's going to be extremely nauseous, so take that as you will. Anyway, we need to really sell these goods. If you need to get your cart, you can come by and claim it. We'll be here for a while as we negotiate deals and whatnot. I would advise, generally speaking, it is quite a nice cart. I would advise going throughout the streets of Rydal in it, as it sort of invites you to be robbed. Anyway, have a great time in Rydal. Don't sign anything.
Oh boy.
So we got a super nice cart, you say?
Yes. And
that we should definitely not ride around it.
what he says is, I forgot to say this too, but Lyric has been sending you this time every day, and before you get to Rydal, he did sort of preface what his dwarf said. He said, trying to stand out in Rydal, it's a good way he's trying to flaunt wealth, as it were. It's a good way to mark yourself, to get robbed. He says, don't take anything free from anyone without seeing where it came from, and don't sign anything. And this dwarf is repeating that to you. And the reason that those that have been to Rydal before know the reason you don't sign anything is because while slavery is illegal, a form of it exists in Rydal in indentured servitude. So
Cool.
you probably don't want to sign a document if you're not a lawyer-y type, which I don't think any of you are.
No, not me.
Not so much, no.
But yeah, so you are free to now explore the city with a very feeling down and out boy, Slizik.
It's still chained to my bed.
I mean, if you want to go with the party, go with the party. You're just they're wary of you.
I mean, if they let me out of my chains.
I don't know, man. My plan is to get him drunk and tell him it was a dream.
It's a dream he never wakes up
That's
for.
my plan. That's my job.
There are many bars and there are many brothels that you can visit in Rydal.
I hang a bucket around his neck. Get a little
Like a horse.
Am I still chained up?
Oh, I thought you felt the buck. I thought you were filling the bucket with booze.
No, just I'm hanging it around. Just like a.
Cute
Just like
bucket. A cute
Okay,
bucket.
yeah.
If he needs to.
They're where you're going. If you are indeed intent on finding the Queen of Hearts, the red light district has a number of taverns, as well as brothels. Some are combined into one for your eating, dining, and recreational pleasure.
I start pouring alcohol from my water skin into the bucket.
Am I still chained up? Please say.
I don't know. Are you? That's the question of the party.
We didn't say that we undid him. I mean,
Man, these are a lot of good quotes.
until we see that he's chill for a second.
So
Can you just
his eyes are darting around, but as you get further and further away from the waterfront, he does
mellow out.
yeah, mellow out a little bit. It's still there, but it's not as obvious. It's very subtle. You need to get a 15 or higher in perception check to see.
From what I've played with him, Jesse is a D&D masochist.
Oh yeah, I was making this curse of all. This is really bad stuff. Are you sure you want this? Like, yeah, fuck me up.
I'm just wondering why he's so excited about going to a brothel while in chains.
Oh, that adds to it, maybe.
I mean,
It does.
it's kind of selfish because then they have to do all the work.
I did actually ask for this curse, by the way.
Oh yeah, he did.
But I digress. So we just get very, very drunk.
Partake in some brothels.
Do you?
I'm like, yeah, I'm going. Like I'm chained up. I just.
Yeah. Oh my god, we entered the brothel with him and chains.
Yeah.
This is big ass dragonborn.
I'll just raise a couple of eyebrows,
Into some kinky
and the
shit.
lady will say, the matron will say, generally this sort of behavior is reserved for the bedroom.
Understood. It's just for his own safety. You see, there's nothing to worry about.
And what do you mean by that? While my girls may enjoy a person with the quote-unquote bad boy, ones that actually
Snake eyes, they call me.
inflict harm, well, they're taken care of in one way or another. And she motions to these very large half-orc bouncers behind you. They're sort of at flanking the door.
That kind of
Nod
taken care of.
at you.
Oh, of course. He's been
having trouble walking recently.
I knew it.
We don't offer pity discounts.
Of course not.
It was a business, you see. On certain
Well, that's fine.
obligations to
There's
my
100
staff.
There's 100 other things he could be considered disabled for, but this isn't one of them.
Well, what's your pleasure? We have food to eat. We have beverages to drink. We have a number of people that might interest you in other ways.
I'll have all three.
Yeah.
He likes them thick.
Yep.
Well, we have... Is there anything in particular you're looking for, dear?
Like oatmeal.
Well, I'm in for everything. Food, drink, girls, men.
Split into men. I don't know.
I'm frantically shaking my head. No!
We also have a very variety of races here, if you have a preference as well. Heights, builds, we cater to a number of different desires.
half orc.
I think he said something about halflings once.
Viciously shaking.
Half orc, please.
Onit is just ignoring all of this.
Aja
but she's
with the half-orc,
looking
okay.
around for tieflings.
She does.
It's out. Oh, go ahead.
So what's Anna doing?
Onit is just pretending that she's not part of this conversation,
She's just like-
but she is kind of looking around for tieflings.
She's just like
She's still got her
getting
hood up
really,
and everything.
really like pressed up against the back wall. And she's like, half-orc, you say? To Aja. Well, we'll bring out a number of them.
No.
See if any suit your fancies. Is there any further specifications you have?
No, this is a request from my friend here.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll bring out a selection and see if he fancies any of them. And then to you, he says, "Oh, don't be." She says, "Don't be shy, dear. This is a place of business. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Is there anything you like?"
Tara keeps like a very like stern eye on Anna to see what she's gonna say.
I'm not interested in
Half-elf.
purchasing any services at this time.
What?
Thank you for your
Dragonborn. You seem to be someone into the exotic races. Another
Onit does
Asimov.
have her hood up for the
another
record.
she says Asimov, half-elf, half-orc,
Wait, did you have those?
Yes.
If I
Tieflings
like
too.
I would.
Tieflings?
Could I get a Ganassi fire if possible, and a halfling? I do have some sketches.
Oh well. Yes, we can provide that for you. That will, of course, 2 at once. There is an appropriate upcharge.
Fair enough.
And just to make a long story short, so this isn't the selecting a drink 2-hour-long bar scene. If you want to engage in these acts, you can with the creature of your choosing, essentially. And so long as it's not like it is
A dog.
Yeah, it's an appropriate race. It's a playable race, let's put it that way.
Elephant, please.
No. Talk about a mind fuck, okay?
Yeah.
What do tentacles do, though?
That's what I'm interested in.
Crack open your skull and eat the brain inside.
Oh, don't talk dirty.
They give you the big suck.
Yeah.
The last suck. But yeah, so you guys partake in food and drink. The matron will say, as you're sort of relaxing, or the girls would know, or men, or what have you, whatever creature, of course, that you decide to spend some time with, will ask you a bit about yourself because you don't seem to be from Rydal.
Well, I'm chained, so.
You're like, "Mrrr!" You're gagged too, I believe.
Yeah.
So they just prop you up as like a living decoration. But some of the people do take
pay a lot of money for that.
pity on you. Some of the employees do pity on you. They come by and they remove your gag and they feed you and give you something to drink and stuff.
Okay, things are coming up Slizik.
Of course, everyone to you is short, so they had to either get their tiptoes or get on a chair to do it. But they do make do.
Tara's gonna ask Anid and say, "Were you going to get a tiefling?"
No, I'm not going to purchase the company of no.
She wants to earn it.
And she
Doesn't
says,
pay for it.
"Oh, don't say it before you see our selection." And she brings out a cavalcade of sons and daughters of devils. Not this is hyperbole, of course. Sons and daughters of devils and demons and what have you.
Ahmed looks very embarrassed.
There's male, female. There's blue skin, purple skin, red skin, different shades of those. Iris is a
Well-
different color: black, white, gold, silver, horns, in different directions, spiraled, pointed out,
Ugh.
curved.
Wow. she's actually very impressed. Honestly. But what she ends up doing is choosing a male tiefling who has a very similar skin tone to hers.
Question.
And
Yes or
Yeah.
no to tattoos and or piercings?
oh, totally. No,
What?
that's no, she's looking for
She's got a type.
she's-
She knows what she likes, and she's going for it.
she has a very specific type that is totally not mentioned in her backstory or anything.
It's just like the pastor's daughter goes for the bad boy.
Yes
You
and
know,
no. But no, she ends up choosing a tiefling who looks about her age, has approximately her skin color with dark hair.
you know, I was going to get a tiefling and Azamar, but I figured I would just wingman for you and cut myself out of the upcharge. But I guess not.
As I go with my
So it is a gold.
Yeah.
It is a gold for one person a night. It is 3 if you get 2.
And Anna looks at Tara and is like, "Are you suggesting something?"
Yes, very plainly.
Oh,
We're not exactly in a place of modesty, are we?
Anna just
We
looks
do
very
have
taken aback for a
yeah.
moment.
we do have private rooms if you want to gauge in a bit of inter-party romance. Of course, we do charge you for their use as well.
Anna just kind of looks at Tara like slightly shocked, but not in a way that's like, "Oh my goodness, how could you think such a thing?" But like, "Wait, where did this come from?" And she's like, "I'm all right."
Bow, 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 bow.
She mostly just looks very confused and
Flustered
a little
even.
bit embarrassed. Yes, she looks flustered. She looks very flustered, right?
Tara looks like a little giddy for a moment, but then looks over to the line of tieflings and then just sort of scans through them with her eyes, and then does like the point and then the beckon with the finger to one of them, and it's a red-skinned woman tiefling.
All right, so they lead you guys upstairs and fade to fuck.
As I
That is not mine. It is another D&D streamer, but I like it, so I'm using it.
As I got my one hand on the back of the halfling, one hand on the back of the fire ganassis, as I turn over my shoulder to it. Remember, try to keep a low profile while we're here.
Yes, this is definitely low profile action
But,
that's happening, right?
So while you guys are partaking in these delights, some of the girls are like questioning like what you guys are doing here. Like you're not from Rydal, obviously, but like what you guys are doing in the city. Why are you chained up? Like what's going on? Like are you into that sort of thing? They have ungagged you.
Put it back in.
Well, they like the food, the gag, the drink.
Oh my god!
Would this be a bad time for Aja to come busting in there all drunk?
Man, there's so many notable
I
quotes.
mean, no.
There's so many notable quotes. But yeah, you can come in like they sort of they do sort of have a separation of like the taverny area and the brothely area.
Please.
They're
I hope
the
so.
same building, but there's and so something is sort of situated in the middle, like in that where that crossover occurs.
Like a table.
Yeah, you're propped up against the wall, leaned against it, as it were, like a big bronze tree
All right.
decoration. just towering over anyone who walks underneath you. But yeah, Aja, you get fairly drunk, and I guess come stumbling back to Slizik, if you so choose, or the brothel side.
I have no sense of propriety, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hey, Slizzik, you get laid? You get laid yet?
I still have my gag in?
No, if they have taken it out because they are trying to engage in conversation with you.
Well, I've been working on it.
Working on it? What do you mean by that?
Well, I have
I'm gonna
these.
give a hard look to the ladies that are with him now. Lady or ladies.
Yeah, since he has denoted that he has liked he likes women. Those are the ones that are sort of around him.
Oh, what is this going to be?
To tempt you.
I don't
Now
wanna-
they can't really do anything much about your chain situation because they don't have the keys to the locks of it, as it were. But nor are any of them. It would take quite a number of them to haul you up to the second floor, because you lack the faculty to do so.
Yeah, I don't know how much luck I'm going to have getting up the stairs, though.
Oh shit, you can do it here, right?
Well, some of the girls at that say it's kind of frowned upon. I mean, we generally engage in more private affairs.
Yeah, that'd be pretty distracting.
But they are feeding you Slizik like they have noticed because they're sort of adept at reading people that you are very keen on cheese, and so they are feeding you cubes of cheese.
Oh, that's sweet shit.
Well, really, what's your modesty worth to you? A gold apiece?
So
Did you say that to them?
oh, to that, so at that one of the an elven woman will come up to you in very hushed tones say, if your intent is to make us break the rules here, you will have to do better than that. You should leave.
Oof.
How much better?
Enough to move one of us to either Stormhaven or Dunwall or Amaranthine and set us up for the next 5 years.
Ugh.
You don't betray the queen and get away with it alive.
Oh, so you work under the protection of the Queen of Hearts?
How new exactly are you to Rydal?
I've been around.
Not here, obviously.
No, not here.
Every whore in the city works for... she would say escort. Every escort in the city works for the queen. She lays down the rules that protect us as well as the client. Everyone gets paid. We sell happy experiences. Everyone walks away happy. You break those rules, you don't walk away.
Well, I, for one, am willing to pay by the rules, so...
Really?
Yeah. What, 2 gold for 2 girls? Was
It's
it?
3 goals for... 3 for 2. There's $1. It's 1 for 1. 3 for 2. There's an upcharge.
Well, I meant like 1 gold in addition to the base pay.
Yeah, that's not going to set him up in Stormhaven for 5 years.
I don't think that's not enough gold. It would be thousands of gold to do this. Like, thousands upon thousands.
Look, there's extra in it if you can somehow get me into this room.
Well, I mean, you'll have to. Your friends that came with you have the keys, right?
I feel like they're indisposed at the moment.
I don't know, you could always go knock on Alistair's door and see what happens.
He's probably taking notes in there, nerded he is. This is DM speaking, not the girls.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's like, interesting.
Well, no, he has some theories he wants
like,
to test
interesting,
out,
dude.
but he is testing.
Do
he's taking
continue.
notes, all right.
He's like, interesting. Do continue. Illustrations, notes, copious amounts.
I don't think our friends trust me with the keys.
Good knock on Tarzan's door.
Do we know who has the keys? Is that established?
No, I don't think we have established who has the keys, but
You want to roll for it?
Roll for it, yeah.
How many of us are there?
There's 4?
1d4. I'll be 1.
I'll be 2.
3.
I'll be 4, I guess.
All right, Alistair.
Okay.
God damn it. Okay, in that case, because I think this might be fun.
Are we streaming right now? Just curious.
Yeah, we are. That's why I'm keeping it PG. That's why I'm fade. Well, actually, not PG. PG-13. That's why I'm saying fade to fuck. That's why I'm saying all this stuff. Like, you're not gonna. They're not violating Twitch's terms of service, use, what have you. No furry porn. No nothing.
Well, you say.
No, never again.
Put a pin on that one.
Okay.
I will. 1 second,
So
ladies.
who has the keys again?
Alistair.
Okay.
Mhm.
So as you're thinking about Alistair has the keys, it's getting pretty late, just due to the nature
Yeah, sure.
of the business. And a figure walks in that's very slight and thin-framed, and Slizik is the only one downstairs, so I wanted to see her. But it's very clearly a female, but she's hooded, but a little bit of silver hair is spilling out on front out of her hood. And she's walking by her, and as soon as she comes in, a lot of the girls seem to peel off from you so that they can go over to her. But she sort of
Hey.
walks with purpose through them to one in particular that she has set her eyes on, and just points at that one. And she seems really excited, and just runs upstairs, or like hurries upstairs by herself. But this figure seems to like look at you or regard you after she has walked underneath you. She's turning around and sees you,
What a sight.
regarding you, and just gives you a quizzical look. Her face is sort of hooded, and then she says to you in Draconic, she says, "So this is the sort of stuff you're into?"
I spit out my gag. Yeah, pretty much. There's no judgment here, right?
Yeah, no
Oh
judgment.
my god, he made it part of his character. What the hell?
He's like, yeah, no judgment.
Okay, that's great. Could you put that gag back in?
Are you sure you want to be like this here?
I mean, where's a better place for it?
Upstairs.
I'm trying to get up there, actually. That's kind of the quest that I'm on at the moment.
Uh-huh. Okay. And she sort of...
You know, really not liking the energy you're putting out right now.
And she just walks by you. As she walks by, she says something in Elvish, and you hear a pop, and all the chains fall off of you.
Oh, you bitch.
You said you wanted to get upstairs. She's not going to carry you up there.
Well, okay. I'll take the chains with me then.
But she just walks upstairs, and you don't see her again.
Was that someone important, it seemed?
Maybe.
Did she have like a big thing that says "I'm the Queen of Hearts"? Like, was she wearing
No,
like a
there was
card or
nothing. There was
something?
no
Like Alice
identifying
in
marks on her.
Wonderland?
She was wearing leather armor. She had a hood and cloak. But you didn't really see anything else.
Silver hair like gray or silver
Silver.
hair like metallic?
like not exactly metallic, like supernatural, or like yours, more silver, as in like platinumy blonde.
Well, I'll log to that and head up with my orc friends.
Are you really doing orcs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's some orc women accompany you upstairs.
Half orcs, yeah,
Half
I
orcs,
guess.
yeah, and you engage in some good times.
It sounds like there's like a fight going on.
There probably is a fight going on.
No, they do tell you there's no like rough stuff. Like this is consensual. Like if you try to do something they're not comfortable with, they will let you know, and if you don't stop, you will be thrown out.
Yeah, sure.
No such thing as consensual brawling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys all have good times. And in the morning, you awake feeling very refreshed and relaxed. Slizik, less so. But you're reluctant to pay the money you owe, but you do so due to the experience you had.
Yeah.
It was great.
Sure.
But yeah, you guys head back downstairs, and what do you guys do now? It's the next day.
You got any good sketches there, Alistair?
Oh, more than sketches. I was able to test out all kinds of theories.
You guys notice that Slizik is no longer bound or gagged.
Sketches. Let me tell you about stretches.
He's moving around freely. This is not how you left him.
Did we really expect him to remain how we left him, though?
He seemed like he was staying there for the day / night. But you notice the chains he has are not broken in any way. It looks like they were unlocked.
Are his eyes still gold? Or
They are gold,
back?
but it's more. So your nausea now has sort of abated slightly. Your seasickness, you still feel it, but it's not debilitating anymore, Slizik. But your eyes are still gold, and you're still.
Okay.
If someone makes any sudden movements around you, particularly towards your waist, like where your coin purse is, then you'll get really defensive. But other than that, you're cool for now.
All right. Everyone have a nice night, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Very much so.
It was illuminating.
What's with you nerds talking about sex like it's like a
You get
fucking
that light cantrip
experiment?
at will.
Well, it was. I mean, I had all
To which Tartara says, "You're illuminating," and like that sort of weird dreamy voice.
very
And Anand gives her that flustered little look again, like.
Well, I noticed someone interesting come in last night. I don't know if it's the woman we're looking for. We were looking for the Queen of Hearts, right?
Yes.
Or were we just looking? Yeah. I think it might be Our Lady. She was wearing some leather armor and some kind of silver hair, and everyone kind of deferred to her. It seemed like.
Badass then.
Yeah.
I saw her. I'm not so sure.
I could be wrong.
That's what I thought.
Could ask somebody.
Yeah, we could.
Pay the
I guess.
bartender.
Yeah. I suppose I'll go up there.
Yeah. So as you guys are like talking, the matron that you guys met yesterday comes up to you, but her face is rather pale, and she Slizik, she hands you a note, but with a shaky hand. Slizik, whoever's coming up to get more information, she hands you a note with a shaky hand.
What's this?
I was told to give it to you directly.
By whom?
Let's just say you have arouse the interest of some very powerful and influential people in Rydal.
I'll head back to the table and be like, I'll mention all this. I just got this letter here.
It's more of it's a folded piece of paper, really.
I will open it up and read it, assuming it's in common or something.
Yeah, it just has a location on it.
Ooh.
Like a street address.
It's just an address for a meeting place, I suppose.
Well, I suppose that I know what that we have a plan for what we're doing after breakfast.
Aye. We slam some breakfast and head out.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right.
So you guys head out to this location. Those that have been in Rydal before can use their knowledge of the city to aid them. The location is still in the red light district, but you guys head toward this very nondescript, even slightly run-down building, sort of attached to others alongside of it. 2 stories. The door doesn't appear to be locked in any way, but it's sort of at the end of this alleyway. It's sort of, this is the last place you'd expect, sort of, or the first place, depending on how you look at it, a covert meeting to take place at.
I just want to specify that Tara is wearing one of her alternate outfits and not like the super fancy ones that we were given.
Oh yeah, Anna's in regular clothes, like her mithrils under stuff. She's
Yes, but, well, you have the chain shirt, so you can hide underneath stuff. But yeah, that's probably for the best.
She's wearing like a link tunic, level 1 elf.
All minor illusion, kind of like scholar robe type deal.
Aja, you were saying something?
Aja always looks like she crawled out of a sluice gate.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're always in a constant state of dirtiness. But yeah, you guys open this door. It opens with it needs a good oiling, the hinges, but it opens up to this sort of dark, empty, cobweb-filled room.
how empty is empty? Like Anna can see perfectly well. So is it really?
It's dark. There's no light you can see. You see some furniture and stuff, but it looks very old and run down. There's like, you see some plinths with vases on them. They're like cracked and chipped and old and dusty, and the paint is flicking off of them. There's some chairs or sofas with like the cushioning has been like ripped out, maybe by like vermin or something, or part of it is. The wood on them is splintered and cracked and not polished at all. There's like some mirrors on the walls and some decorations that are dusty, dirty. Some of the paintings have like cuts through them. Mirror has a crack in it. The metal it's set into is tarnished and rusty.
Can I smell or hear any signs of life?
Perception check. No, you cannot.
Woof. Anna is just going to kind of gently call out, like, hello?
There's just dead silence that greets you.
Could it be that they only wanted to meet Slizik and only Slizik?
Was there like a time mentioned on the thing at all?
There
Or?
was not a time mentioned. Just gave you the location.
Hello.
Very run-down building, Slizik. Hello has already been said. It just echoes, but you need no response.
I'm gonna look around as well with my elf eyes.
Nice.
All right, what you see is what you get. You don't see. Is there anything particular you're looking for, though?
People, good vantage points where somebody could see us, and you know how it is like in a movie where like they stake out a place and like they look, and if there's like too many guys, they'll like turn around and leave without arousing suspicion.
Well, you don't see. You have opened this door and you're sort of peering in. You don't see any people. You don't see any. There is a path through the dust that you see, but everything else appears to be untouched in the room as far as the layer of dust is concerned. You don't see people, vantage points. You're sort of looking down the foyer / first room, so you do notice that this building is 2 stories, but you can't see where the stairs are from your current position.
I say we just wait. Press the old T key and set to 24 hours. Like in them Bethesda RPGs.
I'll just kind of yell, "Is anyone here?" loudly.
Keeping an eye out.
Make a reception check, Slizzy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Wow.
You're really bad at this.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear anything, Slizzy.
Just the wind. My passive is 8.
I'm holding my eyeballs trying to hear.
So your passive perception is 9 then.
Yeah.
Man, that is not good.
I have muscles though, so.
Yes, that obviously makes up for it.
Yep. Well, no one responded.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Do the rest of us hear something?
No, the rest of you don't hear anything.
What do I hear?
You don't hear anything. You got 0.
Wait, what?
You got a 0 on your perception roll. You don't hear anything.
Yeah, but I asked, did they respond? And you said, oh, okay.
They did,
I'll
but
wait
not
and
in a
see.
manner that you could perceive because you rolled a 0.
Okay.
That's how that works. I'm sorry.
Well,
It wasn't
I
a
guess
high check,
nobody's here.
but it wasn't a 0. Just throw that out there.
I suppose we'll just wait here until they show up.
We're gonna get shamed.
Oh, they can try.
Anand is going to step very carefully into the room.
All right. So when you step into the room on it, nothing bad happens, but you feel that something is wrong in this room. Everything is not how it appears to be. It is the Transformer saying more than meets the eye.
Ah, yes.
And that
See,
that sense is beginning. The further you walk or delve into this room, the more the more once again, words are the worst. The more apparent that feeling feeling becomes.
Did the rest of us not feel this when we were inside?
You did not say you went inside. You said you looked inside.
Oh, I thought. God damn it.
Yeah, I'll start going inside as well.
Anand just calls. She says, "I think there's a shoot. No, I don't remember the word. What's the word where glamour? There we go. There's a glamour on this place, perhaps. It's something isn't.
So when you
right.
say that, and you have reached this staircase that probably was once a few decades ago magnificent, but it has been run down due to neglect. But when you say glamored and touch this staircase, to you and you alone, you see this building in its sort of full majesty. And you also notice that the door has actually quietly closed behind all of you once you all came in. But you see like beautifully lacquered, polished woods, where once was cracked and splintered and dried. The vases are beautiful, freshly painted, priceless, on plinths of pure white marble. The sofas are plush, with the wood that the cushioning is set into matching the floors. There's rugs here that are not threadbare, rather very comfortable, and you could probably fall asleep in if you just laid down and rested for a bit. These paintings are by masterwork, by master artists, depicting beautiful scenery, historic events, that sort of thing. The staircase itself almost takes your breath away, such as His Majesty. It's like an almost ebony wood with a dark red carpet leading up, set into the wood you think is maybe like also a dark stone, obsidian, sort of as a trim to it, leading up to this giant double door at the end that is also beautifully crafted in this sort of dark, almost black wood.
So what everyone sees is
Everyone else just
Anna's
sees
looking
shit,
around this.
and you're looking around with like
Yeah,
amazement.
and she's just looking around like everything is so pretty, and she's like, there's a absolutely a glamour. This place is magnificent. And she's looking around like y'all know that her family were merchants. So if she thinks that stuff is nice, stuff is nice.
This place is a shithole.
I agree.
No, say the word. Say the word.
Shithole.
Glamour.
Glamour.
It still looks bad to you guys.
Like,
Fine.
can I investigate the surrounding? This is
Come touch the stairs. Come touch the stairs. Like Anna is slowly walking up the stairs. Does it look like she should be walking up them? I don't know.
Every time,
but
so
she
for
sure
you,
is.
it looks like Unit is going to fall through these stairs. They're so creaky and dilapidated. It's like if she rests her weight on a particularly like poor step that's been eaten away by rot or just weak there, she could fall through and injure herself. But she's confidently striding up them as if that doesn't affect her. She's somehow immune to this, to physics.
I wonder gonna go in and check out these stairs, like up close, start poking around, and
as soon as you get close to these stairs, there's some sort of invisible threshold that you pass. But once you do, you see what Onid sees, and you're overcome with the amazement that she previously displayed.
well, there it is.
I told you.
I'll go through as well.
No, yeah, sure. I'll join.
Oh wow, this is really nice.
Beautiful.
Wish I could live somewhere like this. Or do I?
Anand is just continuing to walk up the stairs. Like now that everyone's cottoned on, she's going upstairs since apparently that's where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, there's a wraparound balcony here with many rooms that lead off to it, but the most dominant sort of thing is the one at the top of the staircase. This giant double door.
And she's gonna call out again, hello. Like maybe they'll hear her or respond.
And the door that you're looking at, you hear click.
Okay, if that was an unlocky sound, she's gonna go to the door and try and open.
And it opens with nary a sound. But when you open it, you don't see a doorway. You don't see another room, an adjacent room. You just see a sort of veil, almost of blackness.
Is it magical darkness?
It is not magical darkness, because you could see through that. It is something different.
It's a black cloth.
She's going to very, very carefully reach out and kind of put her hand a little bit through it and see what happens.
So your hand just sinks into it, and it almost looks like you're dipping into water. But there's like a sucking sound, and your hand is cut off at the wrist. You can still feel your hand. You can feel your hand on the other side, but you can't see it anymore.
Does it feel like it's in the darkness goop, or does it feel like it's in?
It's warmer on the other side. You feel a pleasant warmth where your hand is.
All right. She's gonna mutter a curse to herself and just walk through the darkness.
All right. You are in a different room entirely. And you guys hear this like faint like sucking like, and then on it is gone.
Nope.
Time to get.
I guess go in.
And you guys, for those that have entered into, we're going to end the stream soon, but I'll leave you with this. You guys enter this room that's mechanically speaking dim lighting, but it'll be sort of like a mood lighting. You appear in someone's, looks like this giant well-appointed bedroom, sort of dominated by this large bed in the center. Once again, beautiful decorations, beautiful floors, beautiful furniture. The bed itself is a masterpiece. There's a lot of silk everywhere too, sort of like that's sort of like preventing you. It's slightly translucent, but it's preventing you from seeing who exactly is laying on the bed. But it's pleasantly warm here, whereas before it was sort of room temperature. It's maybe a couple degrees warmer in this room. You smell sweet perfumes and incense throughout this room as well. And then when you are all sort of here and sort of taking this all in, you hear a very feminine voice come from the bed, and you see it's this sort of silhouette of a figure sort of lazily begin to rise up out of it, and you're seeing her through this silk veil. It's still just a silhouette, really. She addresses you all, and she says, "Oh, you're here. Good." She says, "Finally." I thought it would, you would never show.
We were distracted.
He says, "Yes, well, this district does offer plenty of delights that are distracting delights. Now, now that pleasantries are out of the way, so let me introduce myself. I am the Queen of Hearts. I already know who all of you are, emissaries of Stormhaven. Now that pleasantries have been exchanged, let's get down to business."
I take my clothes off.
And with that,
I don't think she meant that kind of business.
And with that, the session will end. I'll see you guys next week. Slizik sans clothes.
All right.